Hi everyone, my name is Alessandra. I make my own cytokinin cloning paste, and I thought I would put together a little video today about how to use my paste as well as just some general tips and tricks for propagation. So here's the plant that I want to propagate today. It's getting kind of long and leggy, so I just want to cut it back a little bit. Here we have my cloning paste. See? We have a fresh Q-tip. I use a fresh one every time I dip into the pot. We have a candle here that I'll use to seal the end of the cutting to prevent rot. Here we have my vitamin water. It's water with my vitamin solution that I make mixed in. And here we have my propagation station. So let's begin. So here there aren't very many aerial roots happening up top. So I'm actually going to take the cutting right below this aerial root here. So I'm going to take the scissors and just snip. So this is the cutting, and I'll just put this aside for later. So now with this guy, this is where we want the new growth to come from. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the cloning paste. We have the fresh Q-tip, going to dip into the jar to get a liberal amount of cloning paste. And we're going to apply it to the node here. And you can also do it on the other side as well. Like that. There you go. So that guy now is all set. So now we're going to move on to the cutting of this one. So in order to prevent the end rotting, we're going to dip it into the wax. And the wax will cover the end like that. So next we are going to fill the propagation station with my vitamin water. This is water that contains a vitamin solution which I make. This also contains a rooting hormone as well. I make 3 different kinds of vitamin water, one with just vitamins, one with vitamin and rooting hormone, and one with a cloning hormone. So next, before we stick it into the water, I am going to sprinkle the aerial root with rooting powder, this guy, which I also make as well. We are going to tap off the excess, and then we're going to stick it into the propagation station. Now you can see the water level covers both the aerial root and the node, and that's exactly what we want. So that is how you propagate with my cloning paste. So I'm going to explain a little bit of how my cloning paste works. So cytokinin is a hormone that is naturally produced in the plant. It sends chemical signals from the very top node, also called the apical node, to send new shoot growth from there. So what happens when you clip the plant is that this is no longer the apical node. The node directly below the cut point is now your new top or apical node. So cytokinin helps promote shoot growth from that new established apical node. So I want to describe a little bit about how the hormones work within the plant. So rooting hormone and a cloning paste hormone actually compete with each other. So the plant can only focus its energy on one growth or the other. So if you have a cutting that is neither rooted nor has active growth, you want to focus the energy of the plant into rooting. So only use the rooting hormone, and then once the roots are established, you can then use the cloning paste to promote shoot growth. If you already have a cutting like I do, which is the top cutting that already has active growth, all I care about right now is establishing new root growth. So that's why I only applied rooting hormone to this one instead of both root and shoot growth on this. I actually did an experiment that can show you a little bit better those differences. So here we have just a regular golden pothos cutting. They're very easy to propagate, so that's why I use this for this experiment. You can see that there's shoot growth and root growth here. This I only propagated in my vitamin water with a rooting hormone. This cutting I did in my vitamin solution with rooting hormone and cloning paste. And as you can see, there is actually no active root growth on this one, but the shoot growth is very present. And if you compare, the shoot on that one is much bigger than the shoot on this one. So if you use the cloning paste with the rooting hormone, you will get a larger shoot, but you won't get roots. If you focus just on the roots will start to establish and also the shoot will grow, just not as much. So focus on the roots first and then focus on the shoot growth by using the cloning paste or a systemic vitamin solution and growth hormone combined. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I am sorry if I went over the basics too much. I just wanted to give you an overview of how to use my cloning paste when you're propagating. So this is my cloning paste. As you guys know, I'm selling this in a couple of groups. I also will have a new batch ready next week of my rooting hormone as well as my vitamin solutions. I will have 3 different kinds of vitamin solutions. Total coverage general vitamin solution that you can use during with or without fertilize whenever you water. I will also have 2 other vitamin solutions that contain a systemic rooting supplement and a systemic shoot supplement. So basically the cloning paste is a topical shoot supplement and the vitamin solution with this will be a systemic one. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much, and thanks for bearing with me with my first video. All right, thanks.